Season 3 Episode 6. Nadja and Nandor forget to feed an ancient vampire, Sire, who then becomes so famished that he digs out of his cell and murders people across New York. Nandor holds a vampire press conference to ease the situation. However, panic ensues when everyone realizes if the Sire dies, everyone who he made into a vampire will die. This theory is put to the test, however, because after Baron died, Laszlo and Nadja did not die, Baron being the one who turned them into vampires. To be safe, Laszlo, Guillermo and Colin Robinson dig up the charred remains of Baron. Or at least that's what they thought they would find, because it turns out the Baron is actually still alive, although he's kind of like Darth Vader before he got into the suit, probably even worse. Baron being alive leaves open the possibility that the theory is correct. The guide song calls upon a creature which resembles a gargoyle called a Watcher, who are two large living statues who stand on top of skyscrapers and chatter about things they observe. The Watchers help the vampires to track the Sire to a big box store in Queens. Laszlo tries to soothe Sire with a harmonica, but when it fails, he accidentally swallows the harmonica. It's a good thing they dug up Baron earlier, because he is able to speak an ancient dialect in order to calm Sire down. Sire explains he thought the vampires were trying to kill and he got defensive. Baron, Aspen the Hellhound and Sire go to live in Nutley, New Jersey. The vampires hold another press conference to reveal the good news that Sire is alive and well, which comes to the joy of many of the vampires. Season 3 Episode 7. Laszlo and Colin hijack a boat and head to a place called Plum Island. They are seeking out information on energy vampires. While they are at sea, they hear a beautiful song coming from a small land formation which Laszlo immediately predicts is a siren. Either against their better judgment or because the siren song was working effectively, they decide to visit the island where they meet the siren named Sheila, who is surrounded by human skeletons and is half bird. Laszlo gains the strength to resist the song and turns into a bat to escape but leaves Colin behind. Laszlo seeks out Guillermo to recruit him to help get Colin back. After purchasing earplugs and going to the island, the two find out that Colin has fallen in love, but that doesn't mean they're going to let him stay there. They all escape from the island, well, almost everyone. A few of the documentary crew members weren't so lucky and end up in the pile of skeletons next to the siren. Nandor and Nadja have decided to alternate days as leaders of the Vampiric Council. The little Nadja doll, which has her doppelganger ghost within, feels like she is not being included in things, which makes her run away. As the spirit runs through the city, she hops from one vessel to another, before finally becoming a large inflatable union rat and running away. Eventually Nadja and Nandor find the ghost and convince her to return to her little doll body and return to the vampire house. Season 3 Episode 8. On a day when Nandor is supposed to be celebrating becoming the Supreme Viceroy of Al-Quo-Lindar, an annual celebration called Accession Day, Nandor is instead depressed. Because vampires are immortal, depression is common for vampires. Nadja convinces Nandor it would do him some good to leave the house, although she does send him on an errand for her benefit. That errand, which was to collect money, lands Nandor at a vampire wellness center, with a woman named Jan. It turns out Jan and the other vampires in the wellness center take out their fangs and no longer identify as vampires. Nandor finds this appealing, and is even further convinced it is right for him to remove his fangs, when Jan claims she and her wellness people are genuinely back in human form. He must remove the fangs every day, because they grow back. Guillermo can't take the anxiety of being without Nandor, so he tracks him down at the wellness center. It doesn't take long for Jan and the group to realize that Guillermo is not a vampire, and even quicker after that they realize he has vampire-slaying murder weapons. This prompts Jan to sick the entire room on him. Guillermo fends off a few attackers while making his getaway into a car and using a seatbelt made of silver to restrain Nandor. He says Nandor has been indoctrinated by the ways of Jan and that he must be reprogrammed. Back at the wellness center, Jan's crew is not too happy with her because she didn't protect them. Jan says it is time to complete their final phase and go outside in the sunlight, which they then do and all burn to death. Jan, however, survives and is concocting her next scheme to defraud people.
Thanks for watching. For more content, check out contentbinger.com.